Thank you, Mikey. That was amazing. Hey, brilliant. It's another episode. Yes, very, very, very warm welcome to Under the Brolly, the My Umbrella podcast, aiming to educate, inform, and socialise with the wider LGBT plus community about the lesser known LGBT plus sexualities, genders, identities, kinks, and fetishes. We're all a bit, I don't know what's going on at the moment, we're all a bit kind of woo-hoo stuff going on. I've had a few coffees. And Chrissy is looking back at us, wondering what the hell she's inherited, which is brilliant. But anyway, you guys all out there know the drill anyway, but I'm going to say it again because it's called padding. So My Umbrella is a volunteer-led support group based in Reading, Berkshire, for the lesser-known LGBT plus identities. We will be 15, and our aim is to educate, support, and socialise. We're also signpost those individuals out there who require the relevant support and advice from the other organisations to the relevant services. A fantastic, wonderful, amazing Under the Brolly Live podcast is because in these unprecedented times, as lockdown is easing, we still feel that essentially now is more important than ever. Which I can also do. To maintain a healthy mind and also to stay positive. And sadly, with nearly all prides either postponed, cancelled, or moved elsewhere online in 2020, unfortunately, we know that many of you will feel lives will be affected this summer. So what better way than to get out and into your rooms, your bedrooms, living rooms, kitchens, bathrooms, actually to do that, which is fantastic. So while we might not be able to run our workshops and do the wonderful things that we normally do at all of our Pride events and our stores are normal, we've decided to bring you the next best thing, which is our hard-working volunteers and Mikey streaming our very first, and in fact not very first, our our 10th episode of Under the Brolly Live podcast. You wonderful, wonderful people. And also to share any issues that you have as well out there and our experiences and interact with all of you. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you a quick introduction to the lovely people that you find. I'm keeping you
I'm tired.
That was brilliant. So I'm going to introduce you to our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful crew. So in the window on, I've got to get this right now. If I point that way, it goes the wrong way. Is it? You can't even see me pointing, but anyway, Chrissy is this side, that way. Okay, Chrissy is our illustrious founder and also somebody that has got significantly older today. Moving on. We've also got Kerry, which is, give us a wave, Kerry. Thank you very much indeed. We have Mikey up in the clouds. Mikey, switch your microphone on and say hello to everybody.
He's gagged.
I'm telling you, we will not be progressing the podcast any further until you say hello.
We're on strike.
Come on, Mikey. Be good. Yay! There we go. Oh, I love it. Pressure. Brilliant. And certainly not least, my beautiful, my handsome, my illustrious co-host, Tom, next to me here in studio. So, that's the crew. You know the drill. You know why we're here. You know why we do today's show. But before we get into that, we want you all to get in it. You can, if you want to, you can email us. So we've got the mailbox live on our screen right now. That's info@myumbrella.org. Start your subject with Under the Brolly, and we will find it straight. Please pop them in there for us as well. You can tweet us as well. Is it Twitter? Twitter. Start your tweet with #Brolly, and our handle is @MyUmbrella UK. I think. Am I right? Yes, yeah, go with that. Okay, we're on Facebook. We've got a live chat room next to us on Facebook. Tom and Kerry and Chrissy are all keeping an eye on all the lovely messages that are coming up as well. I think we're also on YouTube. Remember, we're on YouTube as well, so we're going to be picking up messages that are appearing on the live stream through that as well. We're also through another page, is that right?
We are on Reading Pride's page, and we're also live on our Twitter.
There we go. So you can get in touch with us in every way possible, apart from carrier pigeon because the window's closed. Okay. Do try and contact us in any other way, and we'll do our very best. If you've got any messages, well, no, we're going to read them out. Just send them to us because, again, it's all padding. It's great. The less I've got. Without further ado, today's focus of the show is how has lockdown been for you as an individual or a member of the LGBT plus community, and what do you think has gone well, what do you think has not gone so well, better supported, and use this as an opportunity as a way of getting your voice out there for those people that make decisions in those positions of power. They may be listening to it certainly after the event, certainly playing it back. So use this as a really good opportunity. If you feel as though you need your voice to be heard during today's podcast, to actually tell the powers that be what's gone really well, where you have got the support, what hasn't gone particularly well as far as the support that you've been reaching out for. And please don't forget that as far as LGBT plus, the plus is us, it's everybody. It includes straight allies, it includes trans allies, it includes those people that bridge the gap between the LGBT community and everybody else. Because if it wasn't for you, our community itself would not have been able to get as far. So please make sure you feel as included as we want you to be, certainly within our community as well. So, how many people do we have watching live, and how many comments do we have in the chat room?
On Facebook, we have 4 people watching.
Woo, that might actually be. Tells me there might be a problem, so bear with us a second. Whilst we are consulting our technical guru,
and we have Healey. Yeah.
Oh, Healey. Hello, Healey. Woo, new that looks like a new person. I don't recognise Healey.
I don't recognise Healey. No.
There we go. Happy to see and hear from you as well. Do feel free to put little messages in there for us as well, if you'd like us to talk about anything in particular. What's going on with the chat room at the moment?
We are live on Twitter, though, peeps. We have 10 people watching in on Twitter. I can see 2 people. So
amazing.
Definitely live.
13 people in total as well. Comments, and get your comments into us as well. Do drop us an email if you want us to include anything in particular. But without further ado, I'm actually going to throw out talking. So I want to now ask everybody. Yes, thank you, Mary. How do you feel lockdown has actually been on a personal around to anyone in particular? Who wants to start first? Oh, the silence is deafening, isn't it? I pick Chrissy. Chrissy, how's lockdown been for you?
From a positive perspective, start with a positive perspective.
Yeah.
It's definitely taught me that doing enough self-care for myself and putting myself first. That's one big plus.
Yeah.
And obviously, the negative of running around like a headless, you know what, and doing way too much.
What, a chicken?
I was not chicken.
Chicken,
wrong.
right. I was trying to work out how the reason why you didn't say the word chicken before 9 o'clock.
That wasn't the word I was thinking. I did put Mikey under pressure and have to find the bleep button quickly.
We don't. We don't know. It just came up. Thanks, Mikey, for that. There we go. That's something we can't read out. Oh, see, this is why we don't have an outtake for you, because that could really cause some issues. But yeah, anyway. So, from a positive then, so essentially it gave you some time to actually do a bit of self-care, which is something.
It taught me that I wasn't doing enough self-care.
Wasn't doing enough self-care. I think that's a real positive.
Before lockdown, I wasn't looking after myself enough, but obviously it's taught me that.
So what about from the other angle? I mean, as far as the support that you've had during lockdown from other entities, I won't ask you to name any because a lot of people do know quite a lot about what's out there. So without or a local authority or etc. On a generic basis, is there anything you feel could have been done as far as supporting you as an individual during lockdown? Did you have enough support being reached out to you from local authority, etc.?
Local authority union, workplace, friend, spot on, been there when needed. If I've screamed help, someone's been there.
Excellent. Excellent. And I think your actual place is actually very good with the whole mental health first aid thing as well, aren't they?
Oh yeah, big time. Oh
Excellent.
yeah, we have our own dedicated telephone. We have our own app too if we're feeling rubbish and need to talk.
Brilliant, excellent. Do you think there's anything out there that could have been done differently with regards to how lockdown was handled? Certainly in your locality, or as far as LGBT plus community is concerned, were there enough resources available to you? Were there enough resources? Do you think on a generic basis, as far as community is concerned, do you think enough has been done? Enough has been done lockdown to make sure lockdown were looked after if they were in a vulnerable position?
Most of our local charities, most were pretty quick. Most would normally be a social thing in person to an from a national perspective. Maybe there could have been more. Yeah, we won't go into politics.
Yeah, no, I think very, very sensible, I think, on that basis. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate that. Do we have any comments at all that's coming from either the chat rooms at all, or YouTube?
Just trying to get YouTube back up now.
Elaine is watching.
Hi Elaine, lovely to make your acquaintance. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch our loveliness.
You do know Elaine?
Do I?
Yes. You do know Elaine?
Do I?
Yes. Or.
Oh, Kerry, your mum's watching. Kerry, your mum's watching. I'm definitely not allowed to sit.
My mum was watching. I thought she was watching a documentary on World War II.
This is close enough.
Dam Busters.
Isn't it?
Apparently you're watching us.
Really? Really?
No, she's watching Formula One. No, she's watching Formula One.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
apparently your mum is definitely watching.
Okay.
Apparently she's watching.
Yeah.
There we are. There we are.
Out, dirty mare.
Kerry, what about from your perspective? How do you lock down as far as how you've been supported, or how you found it has been in general with regards to how it all kind of wound up and how it's actually happened eased now? Have you found that the LGBT sufficiently supported? Do you think there's actually been enough done out there to help individuals in vulnerable positions?
From Pride perspective, yeah, it's nice to see sort of all these different prides doing all these different things online and giving out signposting to people, and organisations. I'm going to Gordon Ramsay. I'm going to get my hands. Charity, like big charity wise, I don't know how they've gone about it because I tend to sort of avoid them, but I think they're certainly done quite well, and small community groups have done quite well as well with making sure that all their lovelies are.
Excellent. I mean, we were going to have a guest on today, however, due to some technical difficulties, they've not been able to get on, so they apologise for that. But we were actually going to ask our guest how they have been able to support their local LGBT plus community, and also to do some reflection on themselves on what went really well and what hasn't gone particularly well as far as the support that's been offered out to individuals as well. As far as MyUmbrella, we have made sure that we're available to people out there contact us, tune in and contact us. We have our generic mailbox as well. We have our generic mailbox as well, which is the UK. So that's picked up by absolutely everybody. It's not like one of these big corporate mailboxes. You send an email in, it gets responded to. Send an email in, it gets responded, and then it disappears into the ether, never to be heard of. You actually receive a response from one of the team to deal with an issue or answer your inquiry or allow us to signpost you to the relevant support services as per what we're here to do. Now, we've spoken to Kerry and we've also spoken to Christy as far as their particular perspective. Now, from another side, I mean, myself and Tom are actually based down in Somerset, which, in compared to where Chrissy is based in Didcot and compared to where Kerry is based, which is in Reading, essentially the home of where MyUmbrella is originated from, And as far as one of the larger cities, Chris is in quite a rural area as well as we are, because we're regarded as quite a rural area as well. So we are kind of in the same situation as Chrissy with regards to us being able to reach out to the surrounding towns. Now, our closest city is Bristol, which is about 30 miles away down the road. Now, from what we see from our social media, what we have seen is a lot of the local prides, as Kerry and Chrissy have said, have been reaching out and have been doing an absolutely sterling job at making sure that there are resources available for people to plug into. Certainly there's been helplines out there, there's been websites, web chats, webinars, loads and loads of different fantastic resources that have been put out there for the LGBT plus community. However, the thing to also remember is, for those individuals, and we really do mean this when we reach out to the LGBT plus community, and for those of you that are listening in and that may know people in this position, if you have found yourself in a vulnerable situation where you may not be out to friends and family, and certainly during the period of lockdown, you've had to essentially stay very much inside with people that may not understand or may not be aware of your true identity, we would absolutely love to hear from you as far as what support you have asked for and either received or not got, just so that we can at least recognise those local areas that seem to be doing an amazing job. But also this will help us in terms of building our hit list, I think, for want of a better phrase, of the prides and the local vicinities that we would like to go to next year, certainly when everything hopefully calms down, so that we can at least reach out to those of you that may, fingers crossed, be still requiring some help and assistance, and at least allow us to be a presence and certainly a force to be reckoned with to address some of the issues. So if you do want to reach out to us, please do so. MyUmbrella at info@myumbrella.org.uk. So yes, please do contact us as well. What's your thoughts, Tom, as far as what has actually happened with regards to lockdown, with regards to certainly LGBT plus community, certainly with regards to what's happened in our local area and certainly further afield? Have you seen anything different?
I think it's interesting to see how people connected with technology, because on the one hand, it's great that we've had all these different Pride events online and people have live streamed and everything, but it's also interesting how, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm kind of feeling like a bit of a social media fatigue because we haven't been seeing people face to face. It feels like every day we've got something else that comes up for live streams and events and stuff, which is really good. I think it's going to be nice to actually get out there again and see people face to face and do stuff that's more interactive. So on the one hand, we've got this amazing connection with the world. We've got technology that works better than it ever has, and where people are now bringing themselves back, like older people are engaging with it in a way they hadn't before. And in a way, it's kind of like you've had this period where people have been isolated, but also they've had so much connection digitally through technology that I think we've kind of got to that point where we really want to kind of get back out there. I think people are starting to feel a bit like, now that lockdown is being eased, we're actually seeing each other. And we went to Reading, socially distanced, to see the vigil, and that was really meaningful for the event, but also the fact that we actually saw people. It had more weight to it. So it's nice that we get coming out of this. So I really hope that it kind of continues to get more connected. And in a way, I think it's nice we've had all this, but I'm looking forward to having Prides next year where we actually get to do face-to-face stuff, as opposed to, I don't think the future is going to be all live streams and video calls.
Yeah, I think there's a good point made there, that we've kind of, it's almost been for a lot of people out there, and I certainly kind of include myself in that, and I regard myself as fairly tech savvy, but I didn't actually realise how many different platforms there were out there in order to be able to get involved in meetings and dial into different things and events that are going on. And it has kind of been a baptism by fire, because if you weren't tech savvy beforehand, or in fact, if you hadn't experienced what a video call was, or Skyping, or Google Meet, or Zoom, or Microsoft Teams, or the other ones that are all out there, you've kind of had to get used to it pretty quick. And I'd really like to think as a positive that's come out of this is that we're not going to lose that kind of that opportunity to still stay connected with individuals, and I don't think that just because we've not been able to see someone physically, or that they haven't, for example, text is great but there's no emotion in it. I certainly think that a real positive that should come out of this whole situation, as awful as COVID-19 is, because it's not gone yet, it's not a was, it is. We really have to be quite conscious of the fact that we've built this amazing piece of knowledge that we need to hold on to and make sure that we still continue to reach out to everybody. So there is no longer, as far as I'm concerned, an excuse for people to turn around and say, "Oh, I've not kept in touch with you because I've been really, really busy." Yes, absolutely, everybody is busy, but sometimes it takes 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to make a coffee. So you put the kettle on, coffee in the cup, sugar, bit of milk, according to taste, of course, and then you have a coffee. Now, there is nothing whatsoever wrong with, whilst you're waiting for that kettle to boil, to hit Skype or hit Zoom or hit Google Meet and say hello to someone and ask them how they're doing. And I think it's a real positive to be able to reach out and do that, because there's enough companies out there that have certainly absolutely gone to town on data allowances, and use it. Please still continue to reach out. And to those resources that are available to you, if you are in a vulnerable position, use your friends, use those members of your family that you can talk to openly and that you can confide in if you need that help and support, and certainly still continue to reach out to the services that are available to you so that you don't feel isolated and you don't feel alone, because things are getting better. Lockdown is starting to ease. We're keeping all of our fingers crossed for no second spike. We're not going to scaremonger. We can only go by the information that's available to us at the time. But please use this as an amazing opportunity to stay in touch with those people that you can reach out to make sure that you are looked after, because they do care about you. We, as a charity, we care about everybody within the LGBT plus community. And if you do need to reach out to anybody in your local vicinity, your local authority, your local charities, even if it's just friends and family, people that you know that you can talk to, please use this as an opportunity to do that as well. The technology is there to support you, and that, I think, is a real positive that has come out of lockdown. But I also do feel personally that there are local authorities out there that probably could have done more. I certainly think that the resources that are available could have been made better available, and I certainly think they could have been made more visible, because one of the things that I have been made very, very aware of, and we looked at this from a different angle, because we also represent another charity. I know, terrible, isn't it? We're a charity horse. But we were actually looking at the number of likes that are available and the number of people that follow individual Facebook pages. And there are people out there that don't follow Facebook, and there are people that aren't on there. So don't just assume that because it's social media, it's everybody's window into one particular area. There are other steps that need to be taken to make sure that people know what's going on. So we have got Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and, oh crumbs, what's all the other ones now? Snapchat, TikTok. There are loads out there. But at the same time, there is nothing wrong with good old-fashioned just giving someone a text, giving someone a call. Okay, reaching out, but also making your services available for people to see and people to know that they exist as well. What's everyone's thoughts on that? Possibly quite controversial, maybe not. What are we thinking?
I'm thinking the police are after you, my darling.
Hang on, I'll tell you. It's a very urgent ice cream bar. We get those in Western.
In which case, mine's 99 with strawberry sauce and sprinkles, please.
I'll have a vegan Magnum or a Mr. Bubble.
Wonderful. So, what are we thinking as far as some of the things that I've just said?
Loosely touching on the.
We'll go back to those two words shortly. Loosely touching now, okay? Carry on.
Loosely touching on the sort of reaching out for help, and just to shout out that Boots the Chemist, so any branch of Boots the Chemist that has a pharmacy, which obviously will have a consultation room, these are now acting as safe spaces for those experiencing domestic violence.
Wow.
So if you're experiencing domestic violence, come into any Boots pharmacy, so obviously a pharmacy, not just a boot shop, and speak to the pharmacist. They will go into your consultation room and they will go through what needs to be. All confidential.
That is an absolutely fantastic resource, Kerry. Is it widely publicised? Is that something that's widely publicised, or is it just something that's kind of in the know?
I don't know how well publicised it is in the press. Obviously, I see it as well publicised because I see it every day. But there are posters in branches, and I think they're in the shop windows as well, that it is a safe place.
Brilliant.
Well, I think that's a bit about it on social media as well.
Yeah. I think it has been in a few news stories.
That's it. I mean, that itself is a fantastic resource. I mean, it really, really is. As far as, I think, for our local vicinity, and we're quite rural as far as the two towns that we kind of are not representative of, but what's the word I'm looking for? The existing. Well, exist is another word, and there's a good word, and I can't think of it. Live's good. We'll go with live. Durnham-on-Sea as a town itself has little to no LGBT plus representation. Weston-super-Mare, however, as far as where it falls under as North Somerset, very good representation, certainly as far as the fact that we have a local charity based in Weston-super-Mare that's exclusive to the LGBT plus community. The actual council itself is very inclusive of being involved in the local LGBT plus community. There is actually an equality and diversity manager within the actual North Somerset Council that reaches out and looks after that area. Also involved in safeguarding. And also I'm aware that North Somerset, as far as the council is concerned in the area, is also building into their economic renewal and steering committee a voice for the LGBT plus community to be heard and represented. So it's certainly on the table, but as far as what has been made available in general, I think it's down to the safe spaces that are either available for the LGBT plus community or places for people to go and being given that opportunity to have that area. Now, because everywhere has actually been in lockdown, it's very difficult to be able to kind of get everybody around the table as such. So doing this sort of event, I think is really, really good. I think there's certainly more room for that, but I think it's got to a point now where we do need to start reaching back out and actually maybe getting people around the table and actually giving them the opportunity to be able to go somewhere that's fairly low key. That's actually look at that, that's nice. And actually have a conversation to actually get things off their chest and talk about how lockdown's been for them. But I think as far as the unknown, the fact that when this all happened, when lockdown started kind of winding up, no one really knew what to do, because the UK itself, as far as certainly, within my lifetime, has never been through this. We've never had this situation. So I think
that's why everybody rushed off for toilet rolls.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't think we were going to sneeze that much, but I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? It was almost a knee-jerk reaction that I did struggle to try and understand why everyone suddenly decided they'd go out and just clear the shelves. But bearing in mind that nobody has got that much room at home to be able to store that much food or that many groceries, and it was only ever going to be an almost extreme. So I think actually, I think it's helped supermarkets as far as put limitations in place, but I think maybe they could have done it a bit sooner, because otherwise there were some vulnerable people out there that didn't get the necessary items that they needed straight away. Everybody just decided just to jump in, and I mean, I'm vegetarian. It was difficult to be able to get anything in the supermarket for anyone that may have any sort of intolerances or allergies, because essentially, I think people adopted to go on the basis of any food is good food, which is a bit of a shame, really. But I think that's another positive as far as what's come out of lockdown, is that if this were to happen again, I'd like to think that a lot of the local stores and shopping centres, etc., would apply restrictions almost a lot earlier, regardless of, oh yes, let's make a bit of cash. They need to understand that they could lose a lot of custom if it's a case where they haven't looked after those customers that desperately need them.
I believe, having working in that sort of sector, that having been through it once, I can't comment for obviously all retailers, but working for any major high street retailer, we've got all the kit now in place. If we see it kicking off, but we've now got the powers at a local level to put that in. At the start, we had to hang back and wait for our big bosses to go, you've got to limit that. We were not allowed to do it personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to think that I'd actually like to think we've seen the back of it. I really would. But at the same time, I mean, what does everyone else think? I know we've got four people or so in the actual chat room itself. I mean, what do the people think in the chat room as far as what we've spoken about at the moment? How has lockdown been for you? Do you think the local area that you live in did enough? Do you think the local council have done enough? Do you think the government's done enough? Without getting too much into politics, careful now. But at the same time, do you think, as far as a community, do you think that we as individuals have done enough as far as supporting each other and supporting our families and our friends? What's everyone's thoughts on that?
Can I just go briefly back to the supermarket thing? There was one picture which I saw in the press which broke my heart, and I don't know how you can see it. It's the picture of the paramedic in the supermarket aisle. That broke my heart. So when supermarkets introduced the special shopping hours for NHS, that was a godsend. At the time, my mum was shielding, so I had to do all the shopping. So that, honestly, it was a godsend. So massive shout out to supermarkets that did that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, very, very well played to a lot of supermarkets out there that did that. And certainly, I think you found from your perspective that some supermarkets that were, and I use the term enforce, probably quite rightly. Although, yes, there were one-way restrictions, etc. in there. One of the things I would say, and I don't mean this directed at any one individual supermarket in general, but it really shouldn't have given people an excuse to be downright rude and abrupt to individuals that were all in the same position and everybody was scared. I think as far as if it was laid out properly and it was clear, and if people were following the rules, I think it should have happened and it should have generally gone ahead quite nicely. But as far as what else happened at the time, I think a lot of people suddenly used it as a bit of a free-for-all to suddenly be a little bit unpleasant. I think in general, as far as good customer service is concerned, I think us as customers, I think probably could have done better as far as just being a bit more reasonable and actually follow the instructions properly and not just taking the law into ourselves, because the key workers that are out there, I don't think have been anywhere near recognised for what they went through. And we're actually, a lot of us are actually in the same position because we've all done retail work and we've done hospitality. And as far as key workers are concerned, my mum works in a hospital, Kerry works in a pharmacy, Chrissy works in retail. I mean, it's kind of, we've all gone through this terrifying ordeal. And I'd like to think that a lot of people can reflect back on how it's been handled and how they dealt with the situation at the time and how they reacted. And they could use this opportunity to sort of kind of turn around and go, do you know what, I probably could have either done better or I probably could have been better at that time, and recognised it within themselves and actually give themselves almost an opportunity to reflect on, actually, do you know what, I really didn't need to act like that because everybody's in the same boat. We're all human and we're all expected to, well, we like to think that we're all going to be treated equally. And that's the reason why MyUmbrella LGBT plus exists, is because that's what we strive to achieve. We want equality and diversity across the board, and we want us to all coexist regardless. And it was quite an interesting, it was almost a social experiment to kind of see how everyone reacted to it. Because you had some very different types of individuals coming out of the woodwork. You suddenly thought, oh wow, hang on a second. If that's how you deal with the situation, then okay, there we are. Any thoughts on that at all?
Just going back to your comment about customers, 99.9% of customers, I'm sure Terry will agree, were lovely. 0.01 were complete, and I'm going to say the word beeps because I don't want to put the swear word in there.
Chickens.
And they still are. 99.9% are still lovely. It's that 0.0 that believe now that because restrictions have been lifted, they can come and stand on top of you, they can walk straight in, etc. When in fact, no, we're still limited to the people we can fit in the shop. And you still have to stay 2 meters apart.
Yeah, very much. Is there anything coming from the chat room at all at the moment, Tom?
Yeah, we've been joined by Paul and Jackson.
Yeah,
Jackson was just saying how shopping made them very anxious. I think a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, very much. Very much.
And Charlotte as well is also there.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, Charlotte. Hi, Paul. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Hayley.
No,
Healy, sorry. Do you know, it's so small, honestly. I need to put glasses on. I'm not going to put glasses on. I look terrible. But it's certainly been an interesting conversation as far as the topic of conversation. And we were in 2 months whether or not we were going to do a little bit of reflection on lockdown itself, because we're still kind of coming out of what it is, and certainly not what it was, but certainly what we're going through. So as things are starting to ease, we know that entertainment now can exist in bars and clubs and things like that. So it's quite interesting to kind of see how the alcohol area of social distancing and how that's being influenced with regards to pubs, clubs and other social gatherings has an interesting effect. I'm not going to go into that subject because I think that there's a whole different conversation that could take place there. But for those of you that have thrown in some input into today's focus and certainly today's show as far as the conversation is concerned, thank you very much indeed. If you do want to add anything to today's show, please feel free to drop us a text. A text? We don't do text, we've got a phone. Drop us an email to info@myumbrella.org.uk. Or you can tweet us. Our handle is @myumbrellauk. Please start your tweet with #UnderTheBrolly. Drop it into the YouTube or the Reading Pride page or the Facebook Messenger page thing chat room, and we'll quite happily be able to include that towards the end of the show. So we're now going to move on to the elephant in the room. I probably could use a better word to describe that because you're not actually that big. So there we go.
She is wearing grey.
You are wearing grey, but we still can't. There's no excuse whatsoever for referring to Chrissy as an elephant. However, I like to think that. I mean, I don't know. Is elephant gender neutral? Yeah, because it's an animal. Yeah, close enough. There we are. See, there we are. I've got away with that. There we are. So we do have a little something because our one of our illustrious founders, Miss Christina Dearlove, is 25 again today. For a number of years.
Friday.
Sorry.
It was Friday.
Well, just hang on a sec. Have we got the dates wrong? Mikey, you need to come in on this now. So is it on Friday, Chrissy? Because, I mean, look, he's gone and changed it. Look at that handsome face there. Yeah, there he is. See, this is the person that we can hear, but you can't, but you should all be able to hear him now. So, Mikey, give us a quick rundown.
Hey. $25.
That's you in trouble.
I think I'll just press mute, shall I?
Let's keep.
Yes.
The tea has arrived.
Tea for trouble.
Tea for tits.
Left or right?
Both.
Just a quick message to say happy 40th. Quite a milestone to make, and you look amazing, sweetheart. just want to thank you as well for all the amazing work you do for everyone in our community, and I hope you have a lovely day.
Hello, Chrissy, it's Angela. I hope you had a great day yesterday, and just wishing you happy birthday for yesterday, and I hope you got lots of great things, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, Chrissy, take care, bye.
Hi Christina, happy birthday from everyone that support you and myself. There's many things that we want to say thank you to, but mostly for supporting us and getting behind our campaigns and everything behind the scenes that people don't see. So again, thank you very much for everything, and I hope you have a good day and it's not too hot. Speak to you soon, and I can't wait to meet you all again.
Hi Chris, it's Pop Trumpet here. Mr. Puppy Europe 2020, many happy returns from all the pups in Europe.
Hi Chrissy, happy COVID birthday. Glamorous masks do keep everyone safe and sound, but I don't need that because you're more than 2 meters away, unfortunately. I just wanted to wish you a very, very happy 40th birthday. I hope you are as closely surrounded by your nearest, dearest and loved ones that you can be, and once this is all over, we'll have a fabulous party, because everyone who had a birthday during lockdown needs a good party. Wishing you all the very best, take care, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.
Wow, happy birthday to you, Chrissy. I want to say, and I know everybody in Oxford want to say how much you do for the community and what a fantastic person you are for also being a key worker. So happy 40th birthday.
Pride team, we just wanted to wish you a big happy birthday, a big 40th birthday, and we hope you have a great day.
Birthday to the Queen of MyUmbrella. I hope you have a really great day, Chrissy. You deserve it. Thank you also for all of your hard work over the last couple of years. I've really enjoyed working with you, and I look forward to, once this is all over, working alongside you again at different sort of events and prides and stuff. But yeah, enjoy your day, and keep smiling.
Hi Chrissy, it's Healey here, aka Sassy. I'm sorry that the Queen is not here today to celebrate your fabulous 30, is it? Looks so much younger. Anyway, have a fabulous day and see you soon. Bye.
Hey, it's Matt here from Pride in Gloucestershire, just sending a massive happy birthday to Christina on behalf of myself and all the Pride in Gloucestershire team. We hope you have an amazing day, and we cannot wait to see you again soon. Sending love and pride. Mwah. Happy birthday.
Hi Chrissy, it's Nigel from Western Supermare, and a very happy 40th birthday. Come with me. Yeah, this is our little bar in Western, Proud Bar, and I wish you were here with me right here, right now, because as we go this way, we'll be getting you a drink, darling, we'll be getting you a cocktail, and most of all, we'll be having a fabulous time. So from all of everybody, and I mean everybody, in Western Supermare Pride, Proud Bar, you name it, you've got loads of friends here. From me, your true, loving friend, Nige. Happy 40th, babe.
Hello, Christina. It's Jordan Gray here. If you don't remember me from The Voice, don't worry, neither do I. But it's not about me, it's about you. Happy bloomin' 40th birthday. Thank you for all your work at MyUmbrella and Reading Pride, and indeed the Pride Network at large. We're all big fans of yours. We love you, and we hope that you enjoy this very special day.
Are you watching yourself, you weirdo?
There's nothing better in the back.
Fair enough.
I have to do this. To my partner in crime, my very good friend, and my sister, has a fantastic 40th birthday. Shame we can't celebrate because of lockdown and this fantastic pandemic we have joining us. But we'll party big time next time we see each other. Love you lots.
Congratulations and happy 25th birthday. I can't believe how many you said you were 40. But you're not. We're still, to this day, as far as we're concerned, you're still not a day over 25. With a couple
25 to 15 years experience.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly. So from all of us at MyUmbrella, Chrissy, you really are one of the rocks that holds everything together, even when you think you're not. And we wholeheartedly appreciate all the effort and all the work that you've done and all the work you continue to do and how you piece it all together when most of us are all going to pieces. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. We will be doing something once COVID lockdown has been eased, because your birthday, Kerry's birthday, Mikey's birthday, my birthday, it's going to be a hell of a bash, and people are not going to know what's hit it. They really aren't. So thank you on behalf of all of us. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for everything you continue to do for us. And we will absolutely make sure that we celebrate this properly on the other side. So whilst you're in complete pieces right now, I now need to cut it out a bit more until we end the podcast. So you look an absolute picture right now, Chrissy, honestly, you really do. So anyway, on with the wrap up, because it's really important that we kind of do that, because Chrissy needs to go and sort everything out. So just to wrap up anyway, did you know we've got a Did You Know newsflash here right now on our website? That is www.myumbrella.org.uk. We have now got a donation link. So if you love what we do and you want to reach out and just help us a little bit, because we are a poor defences charity, then we would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you would like to. You don't have to dig deep, but if you do want to acknowledge the wonderful work that we do and we continue to do, and to continue to support us to continue to do that work, quite a few, then please pop onto our website and you'll see there's a donate to us link on there as well. We not only run social events when we can, but we also have attended a number of prides across the UK. We also facilitated training events with some blue chip corporations to present to them what they need to know about LGBT+ and how to be more inclusive in the workplace. We also work very closely with Shout Out LGBT+ Radio with our monthly podcast Under The Brolly, which is the pre-recorded version of this, so it does sound a little bit more professional, although there is kind of a script. I'm going to read that out now as well, Chrissy. So the message that's just come up on the screen from Chrissy said, "You sods, you broke me." So you're not getting away with that. And I'm certainly not saying what Mike you put in the chat room earlier about Wilma. But needless to say, we fixed that. We also have an online Etsy store where you can purchase some amazing LGBT+ merchandise. Mainly, most of it is what Chrissy kicked off, as far as the badges, magnets, keyrings, bottle openers and coasters, and a range of exciting and beautiful LGBT+ flag designs. And last year we supported 21 different prides. We're certainly going to do our damned hardest next year to do a few more. We travelled over 4,000 miles by road and just over 1,000 by rail. And that's pretty much it. We would love you all to continue to be involved in what we do. The Under The Brolly live podcast occurs every 2 weeks. So not here next week, but certainly here the week after. Where we'll have a completely different type of focus and subject of the show whatsoever. But please remember, it really is important for you to reach out, because you can make this show as much as what we're making it. So if you do want to get in touch, do email us at info@myumbrella.org.uk. You can tweet us using the handle @myumbrellauk and start your tweet with hashtag Under The Brolly. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on not Snapchat. Yeah, Snapchat, yeah, maybe. No, okay, not yet. Soon do. There you go. And lots of other wonderful social media platforms out there. And that's it pretty much, actually. That is us for today. Chrissy is still absolutely falling apart, and that's the reason why I'm having to do quite a lot of talking. And also, we weren't expecting Tom to be back from blobby hunting in Crinkly Bottom. Cricket St Thomas. Crinkly St Thomas.
I thought you were talking about Mikey still for a minute.
Oh.
Thank you to everybody that has been part of today's show. Thank you to Chrissy again for just being the wonderful person that we are. We will see you in 2 weeks' time for another Under the Brolly Live, but until then, we will see you very, very soon. Say bye, team.
Everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.